Welcome to Alert Tales, where we dive deep into the most gripping stories of real-life experiences. If you love tales that evoke emotion, spark conversation, and connect us all, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our community for more captivating stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. My wife wants to open our relationship, and I'm at a total loss. Hello, and thanks for taking the time to click this. So TLDR is that my high school sweetheart and I have been together for 14 years and married for 5. This morning she casually brought up the idea of opening our marriage into polyamory after 6 months without us being intimate. I'm confused and honestly hurt. Okay, to the story now. I, a 30-year-old male, and my wife, a 31-year-old female, have been together since we were 16 and sophomores in high school. We were each other's first for pretty much everything. Except for one break during our early 20s, she is the only person I've ever actually been with sexually and romantically. Our relationship has been going through a transitional phase as we both made advances in our careers, finished school, and struggled with mental health issues from childhood-related traumas. We've been each other's rock through the whole thing. Seriously, nobody else knows me better than her. The only real issue between us is a difference in sex drives. I have a really high sex drive and hers is pretty much non-existent due to trauma. For pretty much the last 10 years, there has been a steady decrease in our sex life to the point where we have sex now maybe 2 times a year and occasional oral where she gives. She does not let me touch her or even see her naked. Again, I don't put any pressure on her, but it has been draining as anything to deal with constant rejection and being the only one to ever initiate romantic moments or intimacy that is even non-sex related, like kisses, hugs and cuddling. I'm not okay with this because she's in pain, but I am willing to give her as much time as she needs to heal. I miss our old sex life, but I'm more than happy to watch porn and give her space. It's not a deal breaker by any stretch. In sickness and in health applies to mental well-being, and I meant every word of our vows. Well, fast forward to this morning before work and she asked me to talk about our relationship. I immediately get a pit in my stomach because I thought she was going to ask for a divorce or something with how serious she seemed. Somehow her asking to open up the relationship hurts worse. It's like I'm not good enough for her or she's unwilling to let me in but wants to explore with other people. It really makes no sense. I've been spiraling for the last 24 hours thinking about how I could have handled things differently and I'm just lost. Rant over, blah. Edit, there are too many comments for me to reply to everyone. I'm reading them all and thank you. A lot of people have pointed out that she is potentially cheating or wants to cheat on me. Honestly, it's something I suspected for a long time, but I guess I never wanted to admit it to myself. I'm going to talk with her tonight when we are both home from work. I saw my stepmom's Reddit account and found out that she hates me and my siblings. Positive. Hello, it's been a while since I last posted here. I just wanted to give one last update before leaving this for a few months, since things like divorces take a lot of time and long processes, much more so when minors are involved. If my father and stepmom agree on everything, the divorce process can be finished in 3 months, but if not, it can last up to a year. It all depends on them. Luckily, she lets my little brother come to my mother's house and spend time with my father and us as always. He comes almost every day of the week. My father is going to leave the house to her so that the divorce will be the least stressful for my brother. At one point, my father wanted to ask her to let me stay there on the weekends when I come back from the academy, but I told him not to do that. Honestly, I'm afraid to wake up and find her at the end of the bed looking at me like misery. I don't want to share a house with her at all. I think the most affected by this was my sister, who feels she has suffered discrimination from our stepmother. And I honestly believe her. My sister has told us about some situations that she let go of, but now realizes were micro-discriminatory behaviors against her. Although they were not things like making fun of her to her face, there are microaggressions that we often decide to ignore, but they are done with malice. For example, my brother said that SM once said that my father's sons salen bien del horno. At the time he took it as a random comment, maybe we are overthinking, but now he thinks it was something with double intention towards me and my sister, like saying that we didn't come out well. Again, things we like to ignore and think, nah, it was just a random comment. She has never apologized. She has the kind of mentality that the husband is only the wife's man and the partner comes before the children, which in my opinion is bullshit, because she's only jealous of me and my sister. Imagine being jealous of your husband's daughters. SM strongly believes that she didn't do anything wrong, except not to have written that in a secret diary. At least she now admits that. Maybe in 10 years she will realize everything else. My father, for obvious reasons, has gotten tired of trying to talk to her in a mature way, so they are going to divorce, and I guess she expected it because she didn't make any fuss or anything like that. Divorces are a long and expensive process, so for now my parents, and stepmom too, at least she's a good mother to her own son, are focusing on not letting my younger brother feel those chaotic vibes. My parents are also taking care to ensure my sister doesn't feel too bad either. They will go for joint custody since my father could not take care of my little brother 24/7 because of his work, and anyway, they wouldn't give him custody since he doesn't have a house or all the things that the courts ask for. I went to a campus speed dating event and it was one of the worst experiences of my life. A club on campus hosted a speed dating event for students and I showed up even though I knew in the back of my head what was likely going to happen. I tried to stay optimistic though and be open-minded. It was set up so that men were actually seated and women rotated from table to table, which I thought was kind of unusual because you'd think the men would be the ones rotating, but whatever, I'm not the one who planned it. I really did try to look my best. I did everything I could to try to look as appealing as I could. But it was extremely apparent after it began that this wasn't going to go well for me. Every girl that came to my table only did so because it would be socially unacceptable to skip a table. Trying to talk to them was like pulling teeth. They were not receptive to any questions I asked and were giving me one-word answers. It was almost like I was talking to myself. It was clear they didn't want to have a conversation and they were just trying to be cordial. One girl actually took out her phone and just started texting during the few minutes we had together. I was disheartened by the end of it. I mean, what's the point of just embarrassing and humiliating myself? I felt bad about myself before, but damn, this one made it worse.